Oh yes, it's Nick Shell with Family Friendly Daddy Blog. You know my story. My mother's half Italian and half Mexican. When I did the DNA test for MyHeritage, it came back saying I was 0% Italian, and that actually more than anything I was Spanish on my mom's side, even though she's also Mexican. But it was basically saying, you're not Italian, you're just mostly Spanish on your mom's side, which was very confusing because my great-grandfather moved here from Italy with an Italian name and only spoke Italian. So I read your comments and you said, well, here's all the ways that could have been, how he could have maybe actually had more Spanish blood but adopted an Italian culture. And I'm cool with all that. I accept all that. However, I also read your comments where you said, well, you know, you can upload your raw DNA to third-party sites. So I listened to you. So now we're going to travel to DNA land, where they have a different perspective. Now keep in mind, my mom is half Italian, half Mexican, whereas MyHeritage says you're not Italian at all. You're more Spanish than anything on your mom's side. Let's see what happens when we check out DNA land. So what we're looking at here, they have a different interpretation of this. What they're saying is 32% Northwest European. So that's Germany, Norway, UK, France, Ireland, which is definitely already opposing what MyHeritage said, because they said I was explicitly not Norwegian, British, French, or Irish. They did say German. They were saying 37% German. On this one here on DNA land, I'm now 29% Mediterranean Islander, which includes southern Italy, which is where my great-grandfather migrated from, moved here from. But it also could include Turkey, Cyprus, and Libya. Next up, we've got South Central European, which is 16%, and that's northern Italy. Well, let's do the math. 45%, 45%. 45%, not necessarily just Italian. There's some things on the fringes there, but it's suggesting I'm closer to 45% Italian with some other little stuff, right? And then 13% Native American. Again, my grandmother on my mom's side, she was Mexican. Then we've got North Slavic, 5.1% Russian, Latvia, Belarus. That's exactly lines up to what MyHeritage said. And then we've got Southwestern European, 4.2. That could be France, that could be Spain, that could be Portugal, that could be Morocco. So I can accept this as truth. But it's also confusing because, again, let's do that math. So 29 plus 16 is 45. That's saying that I'm suddenly now 45% Italian-esque. Even if we said, well, yeah, but that's part of that's a little bit of other stuff like Turkey. Okay, but still, I'm more than a quarter Italian? How could that be if my mother is half Italian and half Mexican? Do you see what happened here? With MyHeritage, I was not Italian. I'm more Spanish than anything. Now I go to this test, DNA land. You know what? They're actually downplaying, too, even the Central American part. They're downplaying according to the other side. And they're saying, more than anything, you're pretty much Italian. Nearly half of you is pretty much Italian. So, I don't have an identity crisis about this. This doesn't bother me. I can accept that my raw DNA can be perceived in different ways from different sites. And it only goes to show you that you're not going to get all the answers in one DNA test. And the more you search, the more answers you might get, the more perspectives you might get. But in the end, you're never really going to know. It's more of a general perspective. Again, some of the things stay the same, but really how Italian or how Mexican am I? I'm starting to think that what we've always believed is true. My mom is half Mexican, half Italian. There's a little bit of other things mixed in there. But one test says I'm not Italian. One says, yeah, I'm actually more Italian. That couldn't even be. How could that be if my mom is half Mexican, and that's saying that my dad's suddenly Italian, which the other test said I wasn't Italian at all. So I'm not confused. I'm not perplexed. I'm just amused, entertained, and I can accept this. It's just fun to explore. I'm Nick Shell with Family Friendly Daddy Blog.